shows and it's still better leave. I'ma swap it for time and that's take it from me. Move G to be based in 2 days, I'm on 3, I'm gone. Palomino Patron, Cappuccino Tuton, Alameda song. Stack it up, stack it up.
Yo, dude.
Back.
Welcome back, everybody.
I got my Christmas sweatsuit on. I've been wearing this every day since Christmas. My lady picked it up. No hood. Comfy.
Nice, dude. Feeling comfy, huh? After you topped the whole market?
As comfy as these shorts I'm sitting in. No, just kidding. I'm not short. I'm not short, and I think the amount of dunking that's going on socials today is going to come back and bite the dunkers. Tops don't usually come in overnight, and I don't expect this time to be different. We're either going to
ETH pumped 4%. So
I know, end of days ETH pump. Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna get into the charts. We're gonna get into the chat. It is the last stream of what has been a good year. I mean, it's been a good year. 2023, as it turns out, was a super bullish year. It was not a bear market. I think, there's definitely some alt boredom and bearishness through the beginning. There wasn't much excitement till the end. But
it's crazy looking back at these high time, like the monthlies or the weeklies of these alts and being like, oh, it was a W. Because when you were in it, like there was no perception of like, oh yeah, we're forming the middle of the W right now, a little rally, we'll come back down, form a higher low. Like none of that entered my mind. But then I look back at these charts and it's like, fuck, that's so obvious.
Yeah, I mean, like even Solana, which you could argue has become the darling child of 2023, it 2x'd off the low in January in like 3 weeks, and then it sucked until October. It did nothing. If you were in Solana from January to October, you underperformed everything. And then it just 5x'd to end the year.
Maybe Solana is less obvious of a like W, but if you look at the monthly on like FTM, AVAX, Matic, like ETH even.
Matic's been an underperformer until like yesterday, if I'm not
mistaken. That's also end of day shit,
right? Yeah. Oh no, that's June. Damn, where's January? Oh, January, even worse, dude. It was like it went well below the January lows too. So Matic really did a stinker. Let's go back to Solana for a sec. It is the year.
Yeah, why did you ruin it, dude? Hey, friend, why'd you ruin it?
What did I do?
You topped Solana.
I called the exact top. Yeah, I did.
The Pico top
on Christmas Day. So I'm sitting there, right? I got my setup up in the office, but it's holidays. So, I got 3 kids. I'm at home, but I'm not at the office. So I have this. Where's my setup here? Where's my indicators? I've got my old Mac sitting down in the family room where we do most of the baby hangs during the day. And so I was kind of sitting there like side ship posting with you guys while I was hanging out with the fam in the midday of Christmas. And I was looking at the bullshit. This was the day like Mike Alfred was blowing up on Twitter for blocking everyone and deleting his tweets about shorting and then claiming he made 45K on an up move shorting. Mike Alfred. I don't know. I have him muted, but
is that the dude who $1 million shorted Solana at 116?
Yeah, and made 45K, he alleges, in moments, but then deleted the tweet and anyways. Terrible stuff. But I saw that and I was just like, interesting, and it was doing this. Anyways, right here, I got that cheeky, that cheeky little grin that you get when you get like a crazy idea. You're like, hey, coming up to retest these highs. And then, I'm not set up on my futures right now, so I didn't touch it. But then, like half hour later, I look back and I saw this big wick and like rejection. And that's when I posted in the chat, in the pit. I was like, yo, holy fuck, Sol just topped. And yeah, I was 100% tongue-in-cheek, half shit posting. Like I wasn't, I don't make a big point of trying to call things. But it was an interesting spot to, think about that because of the sentiment, because of how far it had gone. In fact, it's Christmas Day. It just got rejected. Bearish divs. Anyways. So now for like the whole week, I've just been like, reposting that. Like, look, guys, I called the top. But I am 100% mocking that stuff. I don't care for it. But yeah, I'll take a victory.
I
I'll
friggin'
take a victory.
I got pissed.
Toshi, who I thought was on the stream, he
Oh,
shorted it. He's like, dude, I fucking love that you said that because I shorted it and made money. I was like, sweet.
shorted what? Solana?
Solana. He said he made some money.
No,
So I actually haven't sold any. I mean, I
sold
some,
my Solana and then rebought on a bounce, which ends up being a terrible rebuy, but I didn't actually go short.
Yeah, no, I don't trade futures right now. I've taken a break, as you know, and I'm really happy I did because what it has done is allowed me more mental space to work on some things I'm working on, spend time with my kids, and actually I started making more money since I stopped because I started moving on chain and I started flipping some of these alts, jumping in and out of Saycoin and stuff. And
What
not
do you think of Say right now, by the way?
I think everything looks heavy. We're gonna get into it today. We're gonna talk about our 2024 predictions, all the good stuff. First of all, I think it's important to note that this is the Solana chart at a time frame that I think matters. It's the first real significant pullback it's had since really ever, like right before the breakout. Even I mean, even during this rip up, we haven't had a 3-day pullback other than this tiny little cluster. And so this is not a top yet, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to Eiffel Tower. It's just too strong a coin, too much volume, too many players involved.
You think a bearish retest?
I think at the very least, you have to come and test these highs. And then if you fail below whatever midpoint we create here, if it's today, if it's tomorrow, that's where you could say, oh, we have a new trend now, right? We have a lower high, we have a lower low. Right now, it's just a big dip after a strong move. And so you're getting all of these like closet bears coming out and being like, look, Solana's there. Like it's pretty typical for this kind of a drop to get like the dunkage. But if you rush to short or sell here on par, you're going to regret your choices for a few days. That's my 2 cents. So I'm not cutting any of my positions. I'm going to watch this retest of the highs really closely because I do think in general, even as we trade into the 500 someday in the next few years, I do expect there to be a cooling period. And I'd love to not add new powder to this. It'd be really cool to take some off, put it back on, increase my soul bag just by trading it. Like, I've not been rushing to trade my Solana. I felt undersized coming up here, so I've not been taking much off. I did hit my double here, so I've got a free bag, and then I watched it. I watched it rip. But point is, like tops, it's possible, but they super rarely
very rarely get V reversals in either direction, right?
Yeah, like meme coins, you'll get that a lot. ICE did that to me in 2017. That's why I wrote the whole thing back down.
There's an Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower, yeah. But yeah, this one's probably going to retest the highs, so I wouldn't panic today personally. But
yeah, yeah, man. The thing that sucks about the ETH rotation, one is that I missed it. Two is that when Sol Bros were dunking on ETH Bros, ETH wasn't going down. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
it was just not. It was just moving sideways, right?
Underperforming.
Yeah.
But now ETH Bros are dunking on Sol Bros, and Sol is cratering.
Yeah, I mean, it's ebb and flow. I think it was foolish to think ETH's dead. I was sitting there very much of the party, though. Like from a DeFi user perspective, it's night and day when you get in there and you're paying fractions of pennies for transactions and getting instant-ish finality versus the Ethereum experience. And then you could say, well, look at all these L2s. They're going to be great and user-friendly. And that's true. But that's a dilution from Ethereum.
Doesn't seem like that greatest. I mean, we're not like a fundamentals podcast, but it doesn't seem like that great a solution to have like 1,000 L2s.
No, and even if it is, and look, and that's cool. If you want to like say, regardless of the inefficiencies of Ethereum, we're going to stick to it and just make it work versus like maybe there's going to be some adoption in something that was built having learned lessons from Ethereum, i.e. Solana, whatever else. And of course, there's trade-offs. There's a decentralization, centralization, the cost of running a node. Like, of course, there's a whole world to debate here. But at a user end, like the UX here is, cheaper, faster, whatever. And now there's things to do. So I do think, like anything, we're going to see some real ebb and flow. And Solana is going to go through a period of consolidation and shit, and the dunking will occur. And ETH will roar back into fashion and have its fun, and that's the beauty of the market, is catching that kind of momentum trade, the narrative and the hot ball money. And it goes back to the age-old saying, don't marry your bags, date them, don't marry them, don't marry your narrative.
I'm married to Solana, dude.
Be flexible. Me too. I mean, I'm gonna have my soul. I'm not gonna sell my soul.
Nice.
But yeah, right. Count that one. Dad joke 1-0. But it's important.
I'm married to Solana from a user perspective. It's like I will never
sweet.
play around on mainnet ever again.
Oh, I've been playing on mainnet, dude. But it stings. Like everything I touch on mainnet's like $5, $20, $20, $20, $5.
Not even the fees that bother me
It's like,
as much as the fucking experience of, okay, new app, approve, wait fucking forever.
Wait, the trade is gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm messing around with red pill. I have been red pilled. I tried my best to red pill the pit right here, if you recall correctly. And shout out to our producer who dropped a fat Ray Liotta laugh in my face, who's like, ha ha ha, this guy said ETH. I am never going to let you live that down. You made me feel bad about myself, but I still bought the red pill. I ate the red pill. I've been red pilled, and it's up like.
You have to understand, at the time, like we were all hitting 10x's on Solana shitcoins. Like
I know, and
not the easiest time to receive your message that there's a meme coin on main.
Well, that's why I try to be, voice of reason coming in. It's very easy to see from afar what's going on when you're not involved in it, right? I was not addicted to the cock whiff meme season because I was not invested in the cock whiff meme season. And so even though you guys were correct in saying like, yo, you are not the authority on these coins because you don't even play them. I'm like, yeah, but I can see from a mile away when shit's getting too frothy and stupid. And it's like the classic dilution stuff, right? Where you get bonk that went insane and it roused people's imagination. And then you got a couple of hot runners on each chain, like Size on Arbitrum and this and that. And they run,
Size
but then
was not a hot runner, dude. Size only got to
for like a day,
5 million market cap. Like,
I'm just pulling a name out of my ass because I heard it for like 2 days getting shilled in my ear, like this thing.
Yeah.
But like the point is, that's the playbook. It's the same. We call it dumb money, call it smart money, whatever you want to call it. It's the same money rolling around through these names. And then the only thing I had to do that was like a real signal for me is you typed in whiff because I wanted to go see it. I was like, cool, everyone's talking about this whiff. And there's like 100 of them. And none of them were the one. And this isn't today. This is like weeks ago. This was the case. Like sheep with hat, monkey with hat, foxy with hat. Like once you get that, it reminded me of like fucking night and day. Like not even night and day. It reminded me perfectly.
Food farm season.
Well, food farm season was the first iteration of this, I guess, on chain. But dog season, May 2021. Which, of course, China banning Bitcoin mining seemed to be the catalyst to end that, but it was due to crash anyways. It was mysterious how that lined up. But like, I distinctly recall being on an advisory call with a team. We were on a call with them every week. We were always talking business. They always had so much to do. It was very productive. And somewhere like mid-May, we were on a call with them on this Thursday. And the founder was like sitting there. We were literally sniping 1 minute chart, newly listed shitcoin dogs. And it was just like, it was like if you watched the chain of like new contracts being minted and then we just ran it through a scanner, and that was the call. We sat there for 2 hours with this guy and we were just like shit posting and buying dogs for like 1 ETH, flipping them for 2, and it was so absurd. It was so dilutive. It was so dumb. And I was like, sell everything. And I actually got out a good amount through that next week because I was like, it just doesn't end well. It just doesn't end well. And it doesn't mean the whole market crashes. It doesn't have to crash Bitcoin. That time it did because of, China banned Bitcoin mining. But like, you know what I'm saying? It just, you got to see. And it's easier to see this stuff sitting where I was sitting, not having a bag, not having just made a bunch. But it's also easy for you guys to like point at me and be like, we're not listening to you, RT, because you would have said the same 2 months ago. I never actually said, don't touch this shit 2 months ago.
I mean, you said on this like last stream.
Like last week, because last week all of this evidence was there. I can't even find whiff.
You
I
were
guess I'd have
bearish
to go
right
here.
before like a final push, and that's the inconvenience to us.
Yeah, I mean the
ignoring
signs were
you.
there, right? The end of days is what I said. I said this is kind of end of days. Like get out while you can, have your fun, make your
Yeah.
money, make your money. But here's the thing: the crowd that's like, oh, you know, you're coping because you're sitting out and we're making so much money. 99% of like they don't make money. You know, they get
Yeah.
paper gains. Maybe even they realize them. Hey,
Oh,
buddy,
like
you got like, sorry, bro, you
Yeah.
have a tax bill now, and then they roll out all of those gains into the next garbage, and then it all
I
flattens out.
remember. You remember
it's
Smart
scary.
Coin on AVAX?
Yeah, I had some of that.
So I remember after getting out of Smart Coin, I spent like 5 minutes in the Smart Coin Telegram trying to like tell people like, hey, this Ponzi's going to zero, guys. They were like, it was the most insane environment that I've ever been a part of. And they just didn't want to hear it or think about, like, they thought I was stupid. And I realized like, oh, I'm just howling at the wind right now. But yeah, like like that's the attitude of people who don't make money. Is like they
You
don't
can't.
get
Well,
help.
you can't help them. I had a very similar experience with Time Wonderland, where I was in the Telegram, and there was a Lambo calculator right midway through the mania, and I
Very bold.
disagreed strongly with the use of that calculator. I said that's really stupid. It's going to get people hurt. Because it was like, if I put in, you know, $5,000 and I stake for 3 months, like I get 6 Lambos, and I was like, that's just so stupid. So I went into the Telegram to try to like cool shit down because I had been tweeting about it. I had been a big, strong supporter and endorser of this, this bonding, you know, mechanism, this ohm fork, and I didn't like the idea of it being so clearly like people were putting in their life savings and shit. Anyways, I went into the Telegram and I just about got carried out on like a spit. Like it was just like, get out. They were tagging the admins. They were like, don't tell us that it's not going to happen, you fodder. And they tried to kick me out of this Telegram that I helped build. I was like, yo, you guys, like, I got the biggest bag in here. I'm just telling you, cool it. This is not, you know, like, don't throw your life savings. And then of course, that same crowd, you know, 2 months later was like, oh, there's a big rug scammers. And like, all that to say, and you know, I've said this before, but like the funny thing about Wonderland, the best part about Wonderland, where is it? I'm gonna pull it up. The best part about parts. Okay, I'm just pulling it up here. Okay, the best part about the Wonderland thing is it worked the way it was designed to work. It was designed to boost the treasury. It was a treasury bootstrapping phase, and it traded well above treasury value, which is what I was trying to point out to the crowd when they tried to kill me. And then it crashed all the way down to treasury value, and it's been trading there since. And it actually outperformed everything from the lows in 2022 January. So, you know, it was a stable coin. It still is. I'm trying to find it. Anyways. So that was funny, but yes, to your point, you can't help certain crowds. They just don't. They don't want to hear it. It's like shut up. And so here it was. Like here was the crash, Jan 2022, and so ironically, at the top of the market, this thing bottomed. And then if you had been in Wrapped Memo for the entire bear market, you would have outperformed Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, everything. So that was a bit of irony, but. Yeah, to the point of all this meme stuff. I mean, look, now this thing's chilling. Like it's definitely showing a little more resilience than I expected. It's still up 140x. Yeah, WIF is still up 100.
People are bullish WIF. I wouldn't fade it. They also, used car just had a fucking god candle for some reason.
Oh, did it? Yeah. So look, I'm just saying, pay yourself, right? And there was one guy that was like, "This is great because like I sold, you know, a good amount right at the top." But like the other half is hurting. And I'm like, dude, that's a great trade. Like if you got into this and made a bunch of money, took some off, you're free bagging plus some, and you want to ride this meme into the next phase of its life cycle, whether that's just dead or highs, like that's how you do it. I would think that's how you have to do it. That's certainly how I've done it. You know, my red pill bag is de-risked. That didn't take long. We, you know, happened to be day oneing it, and there was like a kind of a listing pump. I guess there were some bots involved there, and then it just went straight into a little reload zone. I mean, it doubled like here. I didn't actually take that double till here, but it's a free bag now, and I'm looking to reload it.
At some point, we have to say something about what will happen in 2024. But before that,
yeah, let's talk
BTC
2024.
is cooked here.
Here's a good BTC chart. This is my BTC take right now. 4 hour. This is your BTC sentiment indicator guide right here. Like, this is it.
You're predicting that we hit that second.
Well, I threw this out here to be cheeky this morning because it does seem like the next step, given.
Don't tell me you're being cheeky. This happened with Saul.
No, like, I actually did this. I had this pasted into the tweet, and then I was like, nah, fuck it. Let's put like a little prediction, next one on there. I don't, never know where it's going to go from here. But as Fib Pong goes, it's like dip, lower high, higher low. This actually made a higher high, like in this, and then a higher low. So it is kind of like squeezing. So who knows? I mean, I just know that if it does go here, it's going to be like an NGMI day, and it'll be like, look, as soon as you get to the bottom end of these ranges,
NGMI right now, dude.
The next leg. I agree. There's a lot of reasons to think that, I think there's so much. Like, I could do a half-hour stream here if I had the time to prepare like a little script and a little like, thesis. I think I could do a half hour about why the market has to cool for a while at some point through Q1, whether that's higher first and then down, or just sideways and down. Like, everything is pointing to it. And so if it's like 90% likely, they're still going to be like, well, what if it just goes higher? Cool, man. Like, we'll have some exposure.
Dude, we're on underwater longs. We need good information.
Yeah, like, I mean, people, I think, no matter how many times you live through it, you forget in the excitement of a lead up to a bullish catalyst, which undoubtedly the spot Bitcoin ETF is, and long term will likely, very, very likely, be a very big catalyst, creating an onboarding floodgate of liquidity for years to come, trillions of dollars. Yes. But the lead up to that event is so exciting, and it drives a ton of trades. This has been the trade of the year since May, according to a lot of very smart people with a lot of money. They're trading it. And when that trade's done, and that trade will be done when the approval is. So there is absolutely or rejection. Yeah, even worse. But absolutely, there will be an amount of profiting, selling the news, whatever. Like, that is a guarantee. Whether or not it is enough to outweigh, what kind of money is suddenly waiting for the approval to then jump in. I think we have more selling short term after that, and then the rest remains to be seen.
Algos go fucking nuts on that news. I mean, look at what happened on the fake news,
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. So here's my like, here's the guess, right? Do we rip higher to start off the year, get some kind of approval, and then chill for what, maybe even just like trend a little bit higher for a little while to make sure whatever everyone's like, oh look, like this 618 seems to be a level. Like, I think it'd be weird for all of this to not touch this high time frame reload zone if we just kind of zoom out and get some perspective here. All that WAGMI stuff's gonna mess us up, but I guess we can take rid of all that now. But like, high time frame, yeah, it'd be weird not to interact with this reload zone at all before we have any cooling. So I'd imagine somewhere in January we do tickle that.
Yeah.
And I just, and then I just see a lull in the market. Now, whether that lull is, if anything, I think the dip waiters will be disappointed just as much as like the pump buyers, you know what I mean? Like, it won't dip quite as hard as everyone wants, but it'll be painful. Let's pull up that fractal. We had that on last week. I think that's the best analogy for this. And I guess we can just go look at it, but this kind of a thing. Now, I don't know if I would go on the side of saying we don't get, a COVID-esque candle. But this would be,
I just can't be shocked if we do. Right?
You can't be shocked if we do, but this would be totally normal, where we just, we like whereas at this point maybe we're here, and so we just blow off into the short reload zone through like the approval window, and then what? What's the inertia
driving? Case, or you're saying that's possible?
No, my base case is 100% that the excitement ends in and around like short term, and then we just kind of go through this. And this would be normal. Frankly, it would be healthy. I'd like to see it. So there's a bit of me wanting it, because it's so much
Rather
easier
like,
to
do
invest
you
through the
think we're
happening.
in that circle now, or do you think that we might have already topped?
I think there's a chance we've already talked, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I really do. I don't think people like getting short through this are going to be rewarded, but it's very possible. I think the most savage outcome would be like rolling over pre-approval, and then the approval candle is just like a retest of the high. And then it's already, the party's already over. Or maybe it's a sweep of the high. Like that would be the most
That'd be
disappointing thing
so
for the
painful, dude.
approval wars, you know?
Yeah, dude.
But fuck exactly what it's going to look like. The bottom line is you have a ton of excitement into the event, and afterwards you just have like this release of excitement, this absence of excitement, this
Yeah.
absence of a fresh pending catalyst, and that is almost always going to have the same impact on price, especially when you've had this kind of a pre-event run up. It's just, I don't know that people feel the need to should have to feel the need to defend it. This is just history repeated, rhyming every time. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm going to have a healthy cash position through that event. I would prefer to increase that cash position post Jan 1st, which I don't think I'm alone in that. So there's a bit of selling there, but it's not about being a big bad bear. I am probably the most bull-hearted when it comes to like 3, 5, 10-year outlook. I think this whole 2025 is your last chance to make it is stupid. I think if anything, this time is different, is going to be real at 2025, and it won't bear market the way everyone wants it to. But short term here, coming out of this event, I just think there's a good chance of either significant cooling or like fucking top central boredom until the actual ETF goes live or the halving, whatever.
Ducks Don Alt was saying like, I would not be at all surprised if all of 2024 is sideways. What do you think of that?
Yeah. I heard an interesting and similar take from somebody who I know and trust and who I believe to be very smart, well connected guy, and yeah, his plan is to really de-risk himself through Q1 on this assumption that 2024 will just be like an underwhelming and choppy and tough to trade year. So that's something to consider. I mean, his context is similar to mine in that he wants his liquid portfolio to be as de-risked as possible, especially after what has been a very good year. And then, he has a lot of investments, a lot of seeds planted in the space as well. And so he's kind of like, worst case, it fucking moons and, we get rich. But if it does end up being, tough to call, not up only for everything, then it'll be nice to have some cash. I think that's safe to say. I mean, at this point, it feels like a foregone conclusion that the entire world has agreed it's tailwinds, and everything moons. And I really hope that that's what happens.
I'm compelled by the narrative that the cycle has been pulled forward. Oh, I forgot to tell you last stream that the Puel indicator fired for a mid-cycle top. You know the Puel mid-cycle?
No. What is Puel?
Pull it up if you can. Puell.
Is it just like an indicator?
The Puel multiple, yeah. Looks at BTC miner revenue.
Oh, okay, yeah. Puell.
Yeah.
Puel multiple with alert function.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I'm sure there's like a website that has it really cleanly obvious, but
weekly,
so like it hits a certain level at mid-cycle tops that people have been kind of calling out. I think it's like 1.5 Puel multiple is like, okay, that's mid-cycle top.
Oh, interesting. So like sort of this would be what you'd call like a mid-cycle top. Is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, look, from a purely physics point of view, and again, looking at last cycle, I'm not sure we should do that, but from a physics point of view, it would be par for the course. And there's a lot to be excited about this time around. ETF, of course, another halvening, and There's definitely like a little more buzz in the world in general. Billionaires buying our bags. They were not doing that publicly back here. So there's a lot more going on right now. But from a physics point of view, we're actually setting up weirdly, eerily similar. Not maybe on the year over year timing, but like if an approval took us into that, and then in
Yeah,
the absence
that
of
would be
another
tight.
catalyst, we would just have some kind of like shitty, boring chop, and then come down to some old levels and do normal shit, and then puke through it to shake everyone out, and then halvening, and then go. Like that would be so fucking normal. That would be
Yeah, it
very
would.
normal, typical
I
stuff. So that's my base
I
case.
you know what's weird is just like how much people are falling over themselves to say this time is different. Like, because like to me, it just seems so clean that like
Yeah.
bottom to top, about every 4 years, there's 1,064 days of up, and then about 364 days of down. And it's just been that way 3 times, or at least twice in a row. And I see people rushing in to try to complicate that and say, well, this cycle maybe is pulled forward because of the ETF, or maybe the ETF causes all these flows that make it fundamentally different. And it's like, why is your base case that things will be very different from how they've always been? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a rough place to start. When
Right.
you're
Yeah.
when
It
you're
just
doing
seems like,
analysis. It's cope. That's kind of what it is. And
yeah.
it's really interesting to see, because we had Brian on the show twice this year, and both times, I don't know if he was here sometime in the summer and then he was here sometime through this. I forget exactly when he showed up, but like he just said like, hey, let's have fun. We're ripping, we're partying. The market looks good. But like when people start to go on and on about how this time it's different, you should
Yeah.
sell some of your bags. Like you should get nervous. And it's happening. It's
Yeah. I mean, but it's
happening.
been
Like
happening,
even
right? Like
Jedi
it's,
last week was trying to tell us about how it's different with memes this time. He's like, no, it is different. These memes are going to stick around. And I'm just like, okay, like respect your opinion. Love you. You're in the weeds. You're grinding. You're smart. You know the shit, and you're playing the memes and making money. Cool. But I'm selling my
yeah.
bag today because you just told me this time's different at the fucking highs. Like whatever, if it's
Yeah.
the end up high or if it's just the current high, but it was a high, and he was talking about it's different. And I was just like, this is eerie as fuck, dude. Cause this is like a wise man warned us about this moment. Anyways, we have a hard stop at the hour, which I guess is in what, 20 minutes? Has it? Could that
Jeez.
possibly be? Producer says he's got the hard stop at the hour. That's too bad. That's 20 minutes away. Oh, 30 minutes. Okay, we got 30 minutes. Good. We're only halfway. Yeah. So I don't want to get in here. I'm really not into calling tops. I'm really not into like giving hard advice on what everyone should do, because as if I know, right? But I'm just trying to illustrate my positioning and my reasoning. And
Oh,
I think
definitely. Like
people will
the
get
juice
caught up.
is not worth the squeeze from here. I would agree with.
Yeah, I think that's a really nice way to summarize it. Like kind of like the exact thought experiment I did with what's this one? Like
Whiff.
Whiff was like 200 mil FDV when it was making this higher, lower high or whatever, and it was like, okay, 200 million for this like Whiff, dog Whiff coin, dog Whiff hat, whatever. That's cool. Like, where is it going? A couple X or zero. Like, it's just not worth the squeeze. And I think anyone who got it from here, I get it. You got a bag still. You've already made a ton of money. It's your fucking, let's go. I feel you, bro. It's your baby. Made you rich. But here, for me, nah. For anyone else starting here, nah. Like, not worth the squeeze, dude. Writing is on the wall for this stuff. So I think that's the best way to put it. The juice just ain't worth the squeeze.
Well, I'm gonna try to get that last bit of juice, but I do.
I mean, get in there and make your juice, homie. But this does not look overtly bearish to me yet, and I really think it would be weird to have all of this and not even tag this short reload zone. So I'd say 48 before any real cooling. But I think one thing I should point out. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to really talk about it too much yet, but I am in the process of trying to sell my FTX claim. that market is hot right now. It's not as convoluted and scary as I thought. I spoke to a law firm that's handling a lot of it. I'll give more details if it's successful. I don't want to lead people down a path until I know it works. But the claims are selling for like high 60s, low 70 cents on the dollar right now. So if I can get that claim sorted and be done with it and get back 70 cents on the dollar, I'm going to be feeling really flush coming into the new year. A lot can change in a year. This was a year ago that they went bankrupt and I got smoked for 75% of my trading portfolio. So that's kind of the only thing I care about right now. And that's going to put me into like a 75% cash position if I got that cash back. And then I would be, of course, looking to deploy through.
Joe asked, what do you guys think the ETF effect will be on Doge Elon Mars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, it's
You
bullet.
take
It's
that
so
one.
bullish. Yeah. Well, the thing about flows institutionally, is that because the ETF will give investors Doge Elon Mars to 1,000x, dude.
What is Doge Elon Mars? Is that a real coin? I'm going to ask the question.
Of
I'm going to take
course.
the bait.
Dude, there's probably 3 of them, much less one.
Doge Elon Mars with 2 S's.
Yeah,
exactly. What are we
exactly.
talking about? There's
Yeah.
F3 of them at least. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little. Can we talk about Dogecoin for a second?
I don't know, dude. I'm trying to stay awake.
Boomer thing. Yeah. It first of all, it looked great, and it is. Oh, this is weird. What do we got on here? There's an indicator. Vol. What is going on here? Oh, it's that indicator. Bye. That weird one you told me about. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna.
Which one?
I don't know.
Oh, the Pule.
Pule. Sounds like a German student at the university. Hello, Pule. Okay. Maybe it is created by a German guy. Who knows? Anyways, trapped from here. Fib. I don't know. I wrote some shit in here. This looked good, dude. And for the first time ever, I was a good boy and I bought some meme coin. I bought the wrong one.
Yeah.
But I I was picking it up at 6 cents. I got most of it out at like 8 cents because I got really bored of it. Doge looks good from like a high time frame perspective, not to be the boomer that doesn't touch memes but then touches last year's meme. But it really does. It really does. And it's kind of like, is ETH going to be, part of like that rotation to dust? Then Doge gets to have an ABCD moment. I don't know. But there was
ETH is pumping again.
There's supposed to be a rocket launch, a Space One, Tesla, SpaceX, whatever rocket launch.
That's still happening in January.
I know.
They're
and like
Doge on the
January 12th. So in 14 days, this thing is going on a rocket in space, literally. So could it, I think my bullish upside objective would be this like ABCD kind of like, fib extension type stuff.
So what do you
I don't have any Doge and I'm not going to buy any, but that would be a target if I was 13 cents.
Besides January, do you have any spicy predictions for 2024?
Yes, I do. I have one in particular. I've been harping on it on social media. We talked about it on stream before it ran up. I had sold some and then rebought it because I realized I made a mistake. We're going to talk about DSO. More broadly, the prediction is not going to be related to price to do with DSO, but to just the paradigm shift to decentralized social media. I think the breadcrumbs are there. We saw the rise and fall, not even fall, but like the hype cycle and then like quiet cycle of BitClout, which was DSO's beta app that they were just using to test out their new blockchain. And it worked. They have lots of daily active users. They're over there right now. We can pull them up actually. And let's see. Anyways, then another major breadcrumb. I don't even think I'm logged in, which is too bad because I was the other day. But this is Diamond. This is the app formerly known as BitClout. It's super active over there. It is still in that early phase where like 90% of the content on it is related to it, right? Where it's just like an echo chamber of people talking about DSO on DSO. And I get that. And that's normal. That's like friend tech, similar vibes. But that's the other thing I was going to say. is that the other breadcrumb we got this year was like the explosion of friend tech. I mean, it led to its own sector rally, right? We had Stars Arena, and Simps is one that I thought was really interesting. I realized after a while that I just don't create enough content in that form to like get too high on it. They weren't doing an airdrop. There was no token. I was like, where is my real incentive? There was really no, whatever you do. Like, so for example, on diamonds, if you like someone's stuff, you can give them diamonds. You literally just pay them pennies or whatever, or dollars for their content. And there's just like a lot of that going on, aside from just, the whole concept of buying and holding keys. So anyways, there is an appetite for this stuff. I think Friend Tech proved that. I think BitClout proved that. And looking through the tech, which I actually did this time, I've not done a lot of that this year. I dove into the DSO learning section the other week, and it's fascinating, dude. It's really cool. It's so good. It's so in depth. And so we have an appetite for it, proven clear as day. We've got the tech for it right here. They're going to launch their new app, Focus, on January 11th. And I think next year you're going to see a massive rise in decentralized social media. That's my big prediction. So that's my number one thing that I'm excited about.
Numero uno, decentralized social media applications
explode.
Okay.
And maybe that's not just DSO, right? There's some others that are coming up, and there's other people that, that I've just got one in my thing today, like a pitch deck about somebody launching one. Like there's going to be others, but I think DSO is going to capture the blue chip of that easily.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I mean, they've got a really sick blockchain that is still under $500 million FTV. Like it's crazy. So I think Rob really did us a solid by bringing this back into our radar. And then I dove in, and he's not wrong, dude. And he's going to diamond hand this shit. I'm right there with him. And I want to get into it. I want to use it. They've got decentralized everything, building to the blockchain, decentralized music, video, LinkedIn, Reddit, whatever. And I think if the chain can keep up with it, which it so far can,
well, word up, dude.
What is one of your predictions for the following year, good sir?
I think Sol gets close to flipping ETH, but doesn't. I think ETH gets nowhere close to flipping Bitcoin.
Those are non-predictions. What does happen?
No, those are predictions. It's that Sol gets very close to flipping ETH, and a bunch of people say it will, and then it won't.
Oh, okay. So let's go Sol ETH.
Yeah.
So this would have to, I mean, this is so far away, dude. I think Sol ETH would have to trade to what? I guess one? Like $1.
Well, no, it's market cap, not price.
Oh, of course. Thank you for helping me out. Solana,
no problem, dude.
No, Solana ETH, wouldn't it? No, that is price related, isn't it? Damn it.
Yeah,
of course it is. How do we compare market caps?
Just look at them.
Look at them in a comparative study, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we could probably set that up on here.
Wait, Sol's like caps? 50 bill right now, right?
Such a noob question. Yeah, we can do market caps. Okay, take that.
Solana is 43 bill roughly. ETH is 285 bill roughly.
ETH, market cap. Yeah. Okay. We're getting somewhere. No, I don't know. I'm trying. We should really prepare this content in advance. I feel so rushed today with this time.
Sol ETH would need to 5x from here to.
Okay, thank you. That's what I need to know. Yeah, it's so much easier to chart when
or
it's
maybe 6x actually.
Yeah, like I know from here, I've got it charted where the flipping would occur approximately.
Yeah,
we've got to figure this out. We've got to chart this on Sol ETH because that's going to be a
different now. Like that line's probably shifted because Ethereum's inflation schedule changed.
Yes, I know. This I wrote up probably sometime back around the merge. So yeah, we'd have to readjust that. But
so someone in the chat said, "Let's quit fiddle fucking around and unleash the mother of all bull runs on the world." And it's like that's sort of what I'm saying is that like the mother of all bull runs, or a bull run that's significantly structurally different from the last one. Like, I just don't see it. I think it's going to be the mid of all bull runs. It's going to be exactly what you would expect given historical
So
analysis.
nothing changes. You know what? For all of my talk of cool your tits right now, because I think we just need to cool our tits right now.
Yeah.
I am much more long term on the side of like, yeah, we're all underestimating what's going to come of this market.
I just don't like. Am I though?
I'm with you on
is,
the MOABR.
is Bitcoin really gonna go anywhere above 200K?
Yeah, it is.
Like this
It
cycle?
becomes I don't know, whenever. Like, I think measuring
That's
in
what I'm saying.
cycles
Though. I'm
needs
talking
to
about the
chill.
cycle.
Yeah, fair enough. I just think measuring in. Here's the thing. Weird. Here's the thing. Like, I've got it all figured out, but like the cope that I'm seeing, the peak cope that I'm seeing is like, it's like people have just come out of this bear cycle, right? They've just come out of it. Even up to here was like, it was fun. It had its fun moments, but it was pretty painful. I mean, it was like for every fun
Yeah, it
week
was
you
tough
had
for
6
both
weeks of like
sides for sure.
rip your fucking head off. Yeah, like it was a tough trade through here, other than the few rips. And so really, we've only had like this much fun in the last 2 years. And what I'm seeing, which I kind of attribute to like exhaustion, maybe like angst, like there's either people who just never quite made it through this, or they did and then lost it. And there's just this desperation to get that back and then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I think, fair enough. Like, as always, I would say secure your bag, buy your home, own your home, like, line your pockets. Yes. But like, that's the psychology that's driving people to these, like, what I consider weird, kind of illogical predictions of like, it's the last chance to make it, like you got 2 years and then what? And then the whole world decides blockchain doesn't work. The whole world adopts blockchain and it somehow doesn't moon. Like, what is that 2 year?
Well,
It's
no,
a copy
just
2 year prediction to me. It's based in the fact that people want this back and to get the fuck out. And they're thinking
I
it's
just
more
think that
likely.
people really want this next cycle to somehow outperform like long-term logarithmic regression bands, which it just won't. Like, it's just not gonna.
Oh, like those charts you see like this.
Yeah, like it's just not going to all of a sudden kink up on that curve. Like, I'm sorry, but
You're
it's just
saying it's
not
not
going
going to
to.
do that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
I
the
can't have a
likelihood of that
rainbow
is
that
so
just gets erect near the end.
That's
And
I'm not shitting you, RT. That's literally what people think. People
well,
think
what
that
if
like
it's this? What if it's that
that's
technological
an
adoption
adoption
curve
curve
and
though.
we're
That's about
here?
users, not about like price functions, right?
Well, yeah, but what if our users is like here? What's that going to do
Totally,
to
it could
price?
be, but I'm saying that
This
like
is
the
2023. This is 2024, 25, 26, 27. We get 2 billion people onboarded into crypto in 3 years. What's that going to do to
I just
price?
think it's crazy to look at a monotonically increasing function that has held consistent for literally like 14 years or some such shit and be like, okay, yes, sure, but it's going to change this time.
Has
Like,
it
that's crazy.
though? Well, okay, but you're also talking about Bitcoin.
Yeah, I am.
That talk that's
To be
Bitcoin
clear,
talk. When I'm talking about like this adoption curve, these users, these killer apps, payments being the obvious killer app for crypto, already pretty much a done deal. It's kind of where it was born and where it should live. But there's going to be some other cool shit too. But like, there's not one yet. Like, stable coins is the killer use case. They're great. It's kind of hard to capitalize on them. It's hard to get rich on USDC. But like, and I told you about this, and I can't wait to talk about it next year. Tari, TARI.com is a cool new platform coming out. You should check it out. And they've got some cool shit building on them. And I think that's, that was going to be my second prediction once you threw it back to me on prediction tennis. I think Tari is going to be an unsung hero thus far, but a big one next year. As far as, thinking about things before they launch, keep an eye out for that one. I think it's going to really blow some socks off. And it's got some really cool payment apps. And if it onboards 1 billion people, yeah, I agree with you in like that whole like Bitcoin logarithmic regression, whatever you called it, chart. Like, maybe that thing kind of just stays in line and just has its little, but don't you think, now that I think about it, now that I say that, don't you think the ETF could affect that in a way that is less, predictable over 14 years? Like,
No.
could it? It couldn't affect it at all. Like those
Nope.
kinds of flows, heavy flow.
Because people would say the same thing about like, but what if like last cycle? What if an institution buys it? Won't that change the dynamics? And it's like, nope, guess not. I guess that it's just never going to have a higher multiple peak to trough than it did in the last one. Like that's just never gonna happen. Like like what BTC
I don't know,
is,
dude. I love that you're saying that right before the thing that could make it happens, though.
it just
Because
isn't
for
gonna
all of
happen.
my like
BTC is-
short-term concern around the ETF approval, the flows, bro, that it could create,
BTC did
the
an
marketing
18x.
from Black Rockers, like
Okay, let's say BTC does a 19x, which is higher than last cycle's X, right? That would
sure,
put it at $285,000.
yeah.
If that happens, I will eat my own dick on national television.
You won't. John McAfee, rest in peace, legend, has proven that eating your own dick when you lose bets is just not the thing that's going to happen. But give me a bet that you will take, and I'll take the other side of that for fun, because I like that drama to end. And I'm not calling it for like a 2024 bet, but 260. Let's do it.
285.
Oh, 285. Can we get some chaos up in here?
Or is it
Show me where the chaos is? Let me sell it.
Dude,
show you where the chaos is, and I'll tell. Oh, look at that. Look at the chaos. 265. Did you say 265?
Dude, I would be very
that we hit
surprised
chaos
if BTC does any more than a 10x off the lows.
Okay, I'm gonna take that chaos bet.
150K.
All right, next cycle, whatever this is, before ass blasting 75% off the highs, we touched this chaos level. What do you want to bet for fun? Can't be crypto, because then it's like
2024 or 2025.
Whenever 2027, like we touch it before there's another.
No, that's not a cycle.
Bear
I'm talking about a
market.
4-year cycle. I'm talking about
So you're gonna okay.
The next peak will be underneath $265,000. That's
so you're holding me within this. So from here, ETF estimated approval, to here, estimated cycle peak, I got to go to 265.
Yeah.
I think we should just make it something like weird and embarrassing, like putting on like
you can
Bret Hart
choose
Hitman Foundation, like pink spandex and dancing around like a jackass in public on video, and then something really awkward.
You can choose my VMask for any future streams until a certain time.
just like a vagina.
yeah.
Like a little clam sandwich.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. I get to play with your VMask for.
Yeah, dude. Play with my VMask, bro.
I like Satoshi shit. Okay. Let's think about that. We're gonna think about that in the new year. We'll come up with some terms, but just for shits, dude. You know me. I like the chaos, and I don't see any reason why this shit couldn't just moon to 265 through like a period.
Just because it hasn't 5 times in a row, right? Or 4 times in a row. That's the only reason.
Because it never has. Yeah.
It never has had a higher multiple trough to peak than the previous cycle.
Yeah, well, look, I would have been wrong last cycle if I took that same chaos level. We never quite hit it, unless we go COVID to midpoint.
Here's a prediction.
Actually, this is the one I was measuring last cycle. I remember it because there it was. But I guess that would be like if we topped here, I could say that was it, and then then we'd be like a little more like right here. 151.
That sounds right to me, dude. 151 sounds right on, smack on.
Well, there's a chaos level there if you want to take like low to this being a midpoint of some kind.
I think it's totally.
But we haven't topped here, so it doesn't really seem valid yet. But yeah.
So I will make a spicy prediction, which is that NFTs will come back with fervor, but not to ETH. And overall,
my bad.
Overall, the highest market cap NFT collection will be on Solana at one point in the next cycle.
Say that last part again.
That
overall
NFT craze will come back, but not to ETH, to Solana, and the highest market cap NFT collection for a period, maybe even for a second, but for a period of time, a shining moment, the highest market cap NFT collection will be a Solana NFT collection.
higher than Punk's.
Yeah, I guess
You're
that's a
basically
tall
just
order, isn't it?
saying
I was
like
thinking about
Matt Lads
40s.
is going to flip Punks, is what I just heard.
Matt Lads to 1,000 Sol in 2024
Okay.
for sure.
That's a sweet prediction, dude. I like that, and it seems very much possible. I don't have any Mad Lads. I need one.
Someone bought like 100 Mad Lads, 100 Keks, 100 Tensorians at some point in the Solana run up, and then dumped them all into bids last night.
Did they get drained? Because I saw something about them
everyone
getting
thought
drained,
they got drained, but then they sent all the money to a Coinbase wallet,
which would be a weird thing for a hacker to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's fucked up. What? Okay.
Other
That's
people
really
thought
weird.
maybe it was an ETH whale playing around on Solana, and then thought like, I'm just going to dump all this shit.
Yeah, just to like troll them, because they probably made some money too, right?
For sure.
If they got in on time and got out on time. Look at this. Somebody tagged me in this, and I don't know what they're trying to say. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, Solana Mobile. For those asking, to the Saga chat, officially be opening it up. Is there a signal in here that I'm like getting a Mad Lad just for owning this phone? I don't think they could give out 20,000 Mad Lads. There's only 10,000.
No, there's no way.
So this guy tagged me in the thing, and I just gave it eyeballs because I was like, oh, what does this mean? I don't know. Anyways, I got the phone. Actually, I can show it to you. It's right here. I haven't set it up because I've never had an Android phone, so I didn't know what to sign in with as like a Google account. I've got like 10, and some of them are doxed from like FTX and shit. So I'm like, oh, I think I'm just gonna make a new one. Anyways, I've got the phone. I want to set it up. I want to get my NFT, join the cool kids club. I'll let y'all know how that goes. And I'm not selling the bonk. In fact, I bought some bonk today. We were gonna play the squeeze. Are you still in some bonk?
Oh, you did hit your bids.
Well, yeah, we talked about these bids last week. I actually moved some up, and then they hit yesterday and it bounced, and I was like, you know what, this thing's not going to go where I want it to go right now. So I got out, and then I was posting about having gotten out this morning, and right on that hourly candle, the green came in, and I said, you know what? So it was actually a little below where I said I was going to bid, and I got in this morning. I think bonk's due for a squeeze. I don't expect it to break these highs anytime soon.
So I screwed up.
I am in for this. I'm going to trade it up to like 27.
Someone in the chat said highest NFT will be on BTC 100%, and I gotta say I agree with that. But those are inscriptions.
That's a good one. I hope so, dude. I got a stack of sub 10K ordinals, and that's as far as I went. I don't have any BRC20 exposure. I haven't made a dime off any of it. But I got like 14 sub 10Ks that I bought during the very first week, and I hope that they moon, dude.
I hope so, dude.
In the meantime, Bitcoin miner stocks have been on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
WAGME, I don't know if that's a miners ETF. Wolf yesterday had a multi double-digit day. It's up another 7% today. Clean Spark, which I was late to, I rotated out to a free position, and then I used that cash to get in here at like 10.20, just because it was not too big a position. I was like, let's get there. Galaxy ripped yesterday, coming off a bit today. Mara has been probably my top performer, volume rising, doesn't look done. And then, of course, the lovable Riot and Coin. Riot actually underperforming, having not broken its summer highs, whereas like Mara clearly well ahead, Coinbase clearly well ahead. So Riot is actually underperforming, but still doing well. Some old ink under.
Everyone's been saying Clean Spark's the one, dude.
Yeah, that seems to be the hot one. I didn't have any as part of my older bucket that I positioned in the summer. Actually pre-summer. It was actually like June that I went ham and moved all my 401k equities into miners. But Coinbase, anyways, I'm in Clean Spark now. I don't have any micro strategy, which is weird. Super off, super like overlooked, especially through this pump chaser zone. I don't know why I didn't, but I've got a fat bag of Coinbase. It's over a double now. I was thinking about cutting it, but I don't really want to realize that gain in 2023. So I think once the calendar year flips, I may wait for that ETF approval and then take my double here, get my free bag, and then use whatever I get from that to like start taking some bids into the pullbacks if we get any. And if we don't, they'll just have to.
You got calls on Coin, you said?
No, just stock. I don't really fuck with options. I probably should. I get Rob. If I ever wanted to be a good options trader, I could learn everything I need to know from Rob, and I just keep not,
dude,
wrapping my head around it all because it's like weird.
Towards your targets, you should just start selling calls on Coin.
Yeah, like a covered call because I hold the underlying kind of thing.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
start selling covered calls where you think the peak is.
So you can kind of like hold your. No, I don't think it's not about really thinking where the peak is. I mean, I think this is going to go much higher. I'd be shocked in the next 2 years if we don't hit 420. It's more just about, like I said, this whole thing with like once the ETF passes, are we due for some cooling, some consolidation, and do I want to be 100% exposed to this through that, or do I want to get some free positions, build some cash? I mean, that's the passive investment strategy that I'm trying to do here. So it's nice because just say we rip up to here on approval, I take back my initial and then we don't cool off. It's like, well, I've still got a big bag of coin. And it's like, hey, cool. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It doesn't matter. But if we do cool off, then I've got like a whack of cash and I can start building positions either in coin. I can take up some micro strategies, some clean spark.
I'm pretty sure that what you want out of that play is better with covered calls, because if it goes higher, some of your covered calls hit, you sold higher. If not, that's free money and you have your cash.
Yeah, you know what? Look, I'm going to look into the covered calls because I think I am probably positioned to actually use it, and then you're not selling, realizing a gain. Yeah, we'll talk more. We'll talk more offline. I've sat in on a seminar about covered calls that was just like, well, what? Like it just seems stupid.
Kill me.
He was,
it was.
It was terrible. I actually walked out halfway, but like the guy was like, I've got a strategy that's going to make you rich. This was in 2018 after I'd made some money in 2017 and I went and spent it on trying to learn how to do things with money. And seminars are not the way, by the way. TRI was the way. But I always shelled TRI. By the way, it is that time of year. Get over to TRI. We should have had Brian on today because they have a new term coming up in January. It's the best money I've ever spent. It helped me make myself financially independent. And you should probably learn how to trade if you're going to be around. I love sneaking in little TRI shills. I am not paid by them.
Let's go.
By the way, but I am paid by myself because I learned from them. How about that for a pitch?
Hey,
all the rugging on Sol can't go unpunished. $40 to $55 Sol. AZTV in the chat.
You're dreaming, pal.
Making predictions.
Hey, pal, you're dreaming.
I'll tell you what. If he's right, I'm gonna buy some. But
of course, yeah.
It's like I hope so, but I don't. I think 80 seems like a logical level to get retested at some point. Yeah. I'm not too worried about Sol. I think it is going to cool. I think it's going to cool longer and harder than a lot of people wish and want. And I think that's going to present us an opportunity. And that's pretty much as much as needs to be said about that. All that to say, I'd be shocked if we don't revisit these highs at least before we fail. If not, sweep this motherfucker, because this is a big level. I was like the whole time coming up through this gap, I was just thinking we gotta sweep out here before we rip. I could be wrong, but I really don't think we're just going to like Eiffel Tower back down. That would be so freaking strange.
That'd be brutal.
But if we do, it'll be like 3 to 6 months temporary pain and then just more sandblasting. I mean, like, look, before a Sol was cool last cycle, we had this. That was really painful. I recall it was like 3-4 months from April through to July, and then it just made everybody rich. So
10 out of 10 would kill myself. So
no, dude, don't joke about that. If we do this,
no, I'm not joking, dude. I would do that if we did that.
No, like 3 months, dude. And this isn't even a big drop. It's not even a big drop. And that's 3 months of, yes, everyone just jumping ship and calling quits. And eventually that's pretty much a lock to happen from some level. So if it's here, if it's a little higher, if it's a little lower, whatever. Buy through
I don't want to run
these.
Coach here. So
yeah, Coach has got to go. He says 5 minutes. We got 3 more minutes. I feel like there needs to be another prediction in here. We talked about sort of like a Bitcoin bet. Can we get that one down? What is it again?
I think 99% of ETH-L2s not only fail, but fail massively to where you have like 2 to 3 market leaders, and the rest of them, like even VCs lose money.
Well, okay. I think I had a prediction along those lines that ETH dominance just trends down. That's my main kind of macro thesis in crypto in general, is that ETH dominance, and that's not to say ETH price can't go up, but ETH dominance to just lose itself to either Bitcoin, Solana, whatever, or more likely its own L2s. it's setting itself up to be like, well, these are how it's going to scale. It's like, cool. Well, that's where the flows are going to go. That's where the money will go. So I would say ETH dominance. We should probably just look it up. Can we pick a chart for it? ETH.D. Should probably have charted this before I said it. But yeah, like ETH dominance is cooked, dude. I think it's going to roll over hard. So that's my big prediction for 2024. I guess ETH dominance to end up down here. And wow. It's crazy that like on this view, that's our next whole year. So that would be a pretty steep drop. I don't know if we're going to get that in next year, but like in the next 2 years, then we'll give ourselves 2 years. I think ETH dominance drops back into like the 10% zone.
Next Wonderland happens on Solana, by the way.
Banana.
Something. Not
There's no next Wonderland. Can we just be clear about that? The power of Ohm
isn't
was
this another
3-3.
like this
The power
won't
of
happen
Ohm-
again like it always happens?
No,
you know,
I mean, yeah, they'll
prediction,
have their fun, but there's no next Wonderland because the power of Wonderland was the power of Ohm, and the power of Ohm was fueled by this understanding of
there will be
3-3,
another
which-
money game abstracting the exact same concept into a new set of
but
principles.
it will never be as good as Wonderland or Ohm because those were boosted, built on, and survived by 3-3, which is a dead thing.
There will be another
3-3 is prisoner's dilemma, and no one's gonna
What
actually.
possible upside is there to saying it won't happen again when it's always happened? You got BitConnect.
Okay.
got-
Here's your prediction, but like, I just think that the 3-3 thing is what carried that, and that's a dead thing, right? People don't have the same trust they did in each other, and why they ever trusted each other to begin with. To like, if you stake and I stake and we stake, we'll all get rich. It's like, okay, but then when do you ring the register? Like, it was always flawed to me. But it's 100% like cat's out of the bag on that concept right now. So Banana's gonna run. I was tweeting about it today. I think this is how the meme seasons always end, right? Meme seasons always end in rug season. It happens every single time. And then every other week, there's just like, oh, I got rugged, I got rugged, I got rugged, I got rugged, I got rugged. Because guess what? The shit that's launching right now is launched by people who are opportunistic and are jumping into a thing because there's quick heat, and they will rug when they think they're done making any money. And then the team came out and said the contract is immutable and cannot be altered. And then somebody highlighted right here that it is very clearly upgradable and alterable. So that is pretty much a lock for a rug. I'm sorry to say, Mr. Wonderland banana wannabe, but there's my prediction. The banana Ponzi, that is a self-proclaimed Ponzi, will end badly. Bold
That's crazy.
2024. Okay. Dude, I am sad that we have to go. Genuinely sad today. I feel fired up. I feel like we have another hour in us, but we do have to go. The producer's got to run. He's got some important business.
Bye, Kex. Bye, lads. Financial advice.
I'm going to watch us. Hit the likes, hit the subs, do all the good stuff. We're going to be back a lot next year. We're not going anywhere. We didn't leave during the bear. What do you think we're going to leave during the bull? Not happening. And always play from a position of strength.
Peace.
Take care.